You know who it is, the Horror Flick, Digger Ditch, Super 6, Big Mitch. And I'm kicking in doors with 03 O's. And I'm bringing 28s, 101s because we Vegas sons, it's the Chronicles. And you in the Meadowlands. Yeah, you in the Meadows, man. And you already know what made me. 530. What that mean? That boy's a desert baby. Hubba dub, scrub, 22-inch gold data dames and big bolo yang can never be on my claims, man. Now, welcome Vegas Chronicles with the host, Super 6 Digger Ditch Big Mitch. And today, like any other day, y'all know what we do. We kick actual factuals without no additives and without no preservatives. Just raw and uncut. Like what? Y'all say it for me. Absolutely. Like summer sausages and crackers. Right. Anyway, welcome to Vegas Chronicles with the whole Super 6 Digger Ditch Big Mitch. And today, look, man, shout out to everybody that's been rocking with your boy. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. And we go do this, man, and we go rise. Y'all already know, man. But first, before I get started, I want to send my deepest condolences to the people of New Orleans that was affected by a tragedy I don't want to really get too much into right now. But let's just say this right here, man. There are truly some evil people in this world. They are. But evil people and their actions is not going to do anything but strengthen God's people's resolve. So let that be stated. Right now we in a time to where it's good versus evil. Not black versus white. It's good versus evil. Pick a side, because it's that time. Moving along. I try to correspond with my audience. You got a lot of trolls out there that want to be heard and they want to be seen. But I'm not going to give them no play on here. If it's not positive, if it's not for the solution, then it's for the problem. And if you want to be for the problem, go be a problem somewhere else. You got many platforms that cater to that. It's just not this one. Okay? So you can troll all you want to, but you ain't going to get no waves over here, man. We keep it real and we mature over here too. We act our age over here. You see, that's the difference. Like I said, no additives, no preservatives, no raw and uncut. But anyway, let me tell y'all a story. Because people wanted me to get into this, man. I don't know if I told y'all this. It was a story that involved, it was, you could say Bloods and Crips, but, I was hanging with these cats. It was really a mixture of a few Gersons and Bloods. This was on Gan Nevada Yard back in like 1999. Okay? And this was right after GQ Hamp knocked out Richie Rich from Skyline Peru. Right? Now, they got into it for whatever reasons. I did a video on that. And they went in the bathroom, over Richie Rich smoking bud by Hamp Doe. And Hamp didn't like that. But they had been into it for, something that was going on before I hit that yard. But to make a long story short with that, because I spoke on that, Hamp ended up knocking out Richie Rich, right? Now, after this happened, I was so disgusted with, the way that transpired, because I thought Richie Rich, the way he talked, the way he act, I thought, his hands went along with all that rah. But unfortunately, Hamp got the upper hand. He got knocked out. So all us over there looking like this. We over there looking like this. Because he took a L. And Richie Rich was bringing in the work. So he was like, the man when it came to that type of stuff. So him getting knocked out made us look bad. But anyway, it was this youngster. Now, you notice how I say it was this youngster. Because this is for the youngsters. And I want you youngsters to pay attention. But it was this youngster. His name was Ike P. He was a playboy. Tall, bright-skinned cat. He was kind of turned up. He really was about that red rag and that playboy and all that stuff, And he didn't like the fact that Richie Rich got knocked out like that. So, we had a nice little crew. It was, basically me, Ike P, Richie Rich. Richie Rich and Ike P was cellies. I used to go up over there and kick it with them. But it was Davey Wavy from 5'9 Brims, Ike P, me, Lil Psych, Richie Rich, Big Dave from Campanella, Peru, and a few more. You know what I mean? But we had a nice little car. It was a mixture of Bloods and Gerson. But then you had like the Crips, the North. It was tension. You had Weed All. You had people like Hamp. You had people like Hollywood, Lil Short Jihad, Cornell, Lil Short Ballhead Cornell, stocky dude. You had Papsco. You had Lil Marv. You had OC. You had Rich Dog. You had the North had a big cop. You know, so IP, he decided he wanted to get into it with his neighbor. His neighbor was a dude by the name of Kryptonite. Kryptonite was in the room with Lil Psych from the Gershon. Now, Kryptonite, I don't know if Kryptonite was from Dogtown or the Pueblos, but Kryptonite rolled with the North. You know, he rolled with the Crip cop. So IP didn't like the fact that his celly got knocked out by GQ Ham, so he went out his way to get into it with Kryptonite. Kryptonite wasn't the type of person that get into stuff, though. You know what I mean? He worked for yard labor. And he was the type of dude that was at work all day. You know, he didn't bother nobody, even though he rolled with the Crip car. He wasn't on nothing, man. But IP, he liked the fact that he wasn't on nothing, so that was an easy target. So IP started, you know, trying his best to get into it with Kryptonite. He started disrespecting Crips and stuff like that. He really mad his celly got knocked out, so he trying to rectify by getting into it with Kryptonite. So Kryptonite ain't taking the bait though. Kryptonite just basically brushing them off, you know. So I guess Kryptonite and IP got into it over the shower. I don't know, right? And I guess IP took all Kryptonite stuff, threw it out the shower, cause you know how you put your towel up and then you know you let people know, you know, I'm next in the shower. You put your little hanger and your towel and stuff up on the hook. IP took all that and threw that stuff up out the shower, threw it on the ground. So Kryptonite come out there, said stuff on the ground. Him and IP had words, you know. And I guess when Kryptonite got in the shower or whatever, you know, I don't know what IP did, but he went in his room and he did something or took something or whatever, and he wouldn't give it back. So Kryptonite wouldn't fight him. So the next morning, you know, Kryptonite, you know, everybody get up at a certain time. So Kryptonite, you know, he got up and he was acting like he was going to work, but he got up and he put a gang of soap bars in a sock. A gang of them, made a nice little old whack. You know what I mean? He put about 7 soap bars. He put a nice couple things of soap bars in the sock, right? And early in the morning, you know, IP will come out the room first and let Richie Rich get ready first. And then he'll go in the room when Richie Rich come out and he'll get ready. So when IP came out the room, IP was still semi-asleep. He came out the room and he sat against the it was this little wooden rail they had at Gan Nevada. Everybody that been in Gan Nevada units know what I'm talking about. But he came out his room and he sat against the thing. He wiping stuff out his eyes. He still asleep. Kryptonite got on his state boots, his state jacket, everything. When he see IP leaning against the wood thing, he ran out of his room real fast and he started whacking IP with the soap in a sock, wearing him out. Whack it, whack it, whack it. He was whooping him. You remember that song, I whoop your head, boy? He was whooping him. I whoop your head, boy. He was whooping him. He put that soap in a sock on Ike. He beat IP down with that soap in the sock, right? Then he broke out the unit, and IP couldn't catch him, right? So Richie Rich come out the unit. He come out the room, I mean. He like, what's going on? IP told him what happened. So IP livid. He hot. He go in his room. He get dressed. You know what I mean? He come out. He looking for Kryptonite. Kryptonite ain't nowhere to be found. He ran in somebody's room, but he can't find him. So IP mad he can't find Kryptonite. And the way he worked him with that soap in the sock, he was whooping him. He was whack like they was nunchucks. He was putting that, man, look, he whooped, man. And IP couldn't catch him either. So look, IP got mad and put some water in a cup and went in his room and he poured water all in Kryptonite TV. You know, he poured water all in Kryptonite TV. He started taking his CDs and stuff out of his room, right? So, you know, when I guess he went and hollered at, you know, the Crips, you know, and some of them came down there to see what was happening, you know, and when they went and they basically seen that IP wanted to fight Kryptonite, they went and got Kryptonite and told Kryptonite, you and him go run that fade. IP was tripping to the point to where he was standing out in front of, what was that, Unit 3? No, Unit 2. He was standing out there in front of Unit 2. And he was saying, can't no Crips come in that unit. You know, that boy had, man, he put that soap in the sock on that boy. He had IP out there tripping. He had, can't no Crips. And he wasn't saying the word Crip. He was being disrespectful. So he was saying this loud. Can't no woo 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 come in our unit. Can't no woo woo, can't no woo woo. And you know, and the Crips said, you know, they got deep. They went in the gym. They had a little meeting. They say they gonna let Kryptonite get down with Ike P. And you know that was supposed to be the end of it. Even though Ike P was in front of the unit doing all this, the Crips was like, look, y'all get down, and that just be the end of that, right? But this has a deeper meaning, man. Everybody is tense because Richie Rich just got knocked out. You know, I'm on the yard. You know, everything is real tense. So when they come down there, it's 1,000 Crips, man. They come down there in front of Unit 2. We group up. You know, we had this one cat from East Coast Bloods named Nigel. Nigel was a boxer. You know what I mean? And he had hands. So we was cool, you know. We had my cousin Jesse Shepard, you know what I mean? We had a bunch of people. But they didn't like Richie Rich. That was the problem. See, they was Bloods, but they didn't like Richie Rich. He had that complex about himself. You see? But they was riding because it was people like Syke, me, and other people that was there. So they was riding for the cause anyway. So when the Crips come down there and Ike P and Kryptonite go in the bathroom, right? And not the bathroom, but the shower. And they get out, Ike P beat the brakes off Kryptonite up in there, right? And Richie Rich ain't making it no better. He's standing by the shower, working blood. Stump that ninja out, blood. Don't let him up, blood. No, don't let him up, blood. You know, he coaching and he making the Crips mad, right? So, I don't know what happened between Davey Wavy from 5'9" Brims and Hamp. But while Ike P and Kryptonite was fighting, Hamp tried to steal on Davey Wavy. And that's when everybody started fighting. Lil Syke, he had Hamp on the ground kicking up. Syke was Syke was trying to stick. He had Hamp on the ground kicking up like a man. Come on, man, for real. And everybody just clashed, right? So everybody fighting, right? And what happened? Remember Ike P? What happened was everybody, you know, Ike P didn't have no thing. Everybody else had things. So when it jumped, it was a rumble. Everybody down there in front of Unit 2 scrapping. Everybody scrapping. Ike P ain't had no thing, and Ike P was still in the shower, and he was overworking Kryptonite. So when the fight happened, the fight spilled outside, but Ike P was stuck in the unit, and the Crips was still in the unit. And what happened is Charles Blaylark, Papsco, and a few more of the Crips got a hold of Ike P. And boy, when I mean they worked Ike P, they worked Ike P. They got him good. They stuck him, all kind of stuff, man. They blasted him because he let his emotions get the best of him, you know, and couldn't nobody help him. You know what I mean? But they blasted Ike P, man. It went down, you know what I mean, in front of that unit, man, and it was all bad. You know, the Crips came down there, and it was what it was. And they came down there hollering, we up in here. You know what I mean? It went down over there, man. You know, and I'm saying that to say this here, man. It's a lot of youngsters, you know, that go up there to that penitentiary. And they be so anxious to prove who they are and that they down. That they put themselves and other people in harm's way, man. And what's sad is that this is what y'all sign up for. You sign up to prove you want to be a part of something, to prove you tough, and then you end up stabbed up and stuff like that. That's what happened to that youngster, you know? And Ike P ended up, I don't know, they sent him up north, but he ended up getting out, and he caught a messed up case. I'm not getting up into that. But Ike P got blasted up at Gan Nevada, you know, behind that, you know. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, man. People don't talk about this enough, but I'm going to tell y'all something about prison, man. When you go to prison, see, you think out here on the street you really know your homeboys, or you think when you hang around your homeboys for a long period of time, you really get to see who they are. You don't really get to see who your homeboys really are until you go up into that penitentiary. When you go in that penitentiary, you gonna really find out how they really feel about you, what your standing is in that neighborhood, because I'm gonna tell you something. One thing that always separates, see, on the street, what separates homies and what homies really get into it over, sometimes even more than money, is females. Females then took whole hoods to war. Females. And when dudes really get into it on the street, 90% of the time, homie, it's a female somewhere behind that. You know, and I'm not saying she the cause of it. I'm saying either these two cats claiming they want her, or they belong to her, you know, or she belong to them, and they go to war. One of them get, you know, messed off down two hoods at war, and she with somebody else. That's how that normally go. You know, sometimes it's, you know, good girls going bad, like drug deals going wrong, or sometimes it's just gangbanging. But 90% of the time, it's a female up in there. In the penitentiary, what tear homeboys apart, hold cars apart, be them drugs. I swear to God, it be them drugs. When people be on the yard, I swear to God, and people hit, and they don't be sharing, or they'll share with the ones they say they know, or they'll share with the ones they know or do something to them if they don't. You see? And then it be the ones sometimes that really be putting in the work, the ones that really be having a name, that get left out. You got some dudes from neighborhoods that'll go hit and bring in some work and go smoke it all with the enemies. That's how it be in prison. In prison, you find out how your homeboys really feel about you when you walking around there and you starving and you ain't got nothing and you gotta go to a paisa and borrow 2 soups, 2 for 1. You see? Or 3 for 5. You got to go to a paisa or somebody to one of their stores because your own homeboys don't look out for you. But they'll go out there and they'll hit and they'll get amongst their crew and they won't even mess with you. That tears neighborhoods apart. I remember, look, hey, check this out. I remember in Indian Springs, y'all, right? Indian Springs was wide open. Everybody was having it. You know, and B-Mac from the hood, Brian Jackson, he was having it. Rest in peace. He was having it. And I remember, you know, people had their certain feelings about him. I'm not going to speak too much on him because he R.I.P. and that was my partner. You know what I mean? People feel how they feel about B-Mac, but B-Mac was my partner. I ain't got nothing bad to say about the brother. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. But anyway, B-Mac was hitting, and you know, Blood Boo, he went in there and took B-Mac his whole package. And them Bloods had a cold rock fight down there in Times Square. Y'all remember when the Bloods was, and Boo got into it with got in that rock fight down there by Times Square, and Big Will, the one that was bringing the work in for Ace, the California cats, was on the tower and he wouldn't even shoot. He just let the Bloods go at it. For real. But see, that them drugs, they'll tear a whole car apart, man. For real. For real. When I was banging, I had a partner named U Green. U Green was doing his thing. U Green used to mess with this cat that I told y'all a story about named Bay, the one that got hurt in the room with the youngster. Bay was from 3th Street, but him and U Green was cool. U Green went out there one time and got that water, right? He bought that water back in. You had some homies hating because he wasn't messing with everybody, because he didn't know everybody, and he didn't have enough to, you know, mess with everybody. So the people he felt was authentic, that's who he messed with. But you had some homeboys that didn't, you know, wasn't feeling that, you know? So they came up with a thing, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, because I was on some, I just, you know, I was evil, you know what I mean? And I co-signed it, you know, but they came up with a thing and they made U Green and P Gangster get down for no reason, because U Green was having it. But they thought U Green wasn't gonna get down. U Green and P Gangster went down there by the gym and they got down and they was going blow for blow till U Green hit him on his button. Then P Gangster was on the ground swimming. He was on the ground swimming. He hit him right on that button. You see? But that's how your homeboys will do you. And I'm not homeboy bashing or nothing. I'm telling y'all the honest to God truth. You see? When you go to the penitentiary, I swear to God, if you go, and I hope you don't, but I promise you, 2025, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, man. We going to do big things. I'm going to really bring it to y'all. I promise you. 2025. This year, it's going to be the year of the real truth. People will be exposed. Remember I said that. Remember I said that. They will expose. They will be exposed because it's a bunch of people doing this here that's only doing this here because there's a bunch of people that's no longer here. You see? They had to wait for them to pass away and move on before they rose up and even had a voice, because they never had a voice in the first place. But when you go to the penitentiary, your homeboys ain't gonna hand you no book and tell you to go read, go to the law library. They not gonna try to help you get your case back in court. You lucky if that happened. What they go do is they go probably hand you a knife. And some of them, like me, I used to hand homies coffee shop slips. Yeah, go fill that out. That's what I used to be on. Go fill that out. That's how you show me K-Love. Go fill that out. Go give me a box of chicken. Go buy me 4 caps of Bud. Go sell your CD player to support my drug habit. That's what your homeboys be up in there doing. Then they come up with stuff because you having it. They come up with stuff like you not really from over there, or who put you on, or all of a sudden now, because you bringing in whatever you bringing in and you having a good time and you making your money, they want to clean up the backyard and start doing cordons again. So now you got to go get beat up for nothing. That's what your homeboys go do to you. I'm keeping it real. I'm not saying that's in every hood, but I promise you, someone in every hood didn't experience that. For real. Your homies will throw you under the bus fast, man. My advice to you youngsters, I'm going to keep telling y'all this, because ain't nobody telling y'all this, man. For real, man. Ain't nobody telling y'all this. Y'all hot commodity, listen, man, the most valuable thing in the world today, I swear to God, is the blood of little black and brown boys, man. What's more precious than that? Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. That's how y'all keep the wheel spinning. You see? The stereotypes, law enforcement, the unfortunate situations, funerals. Y'all keep everything spinning. Everything spinning, man. I mean, it ain't the fact that people, pass away due to natural causes. But you look at the unnatural causes, and you look at the violence that people are leaving this earth behind. This is sad, man. And y'all see what's going on around y'all. I'm going to make y'all another channel for that so we can address world affairs. I'm going to make another channel for that. So we going to talk about world affairs, but y'all see what's going on around y'all, right? We running out of time to get this right, people. Shout out to the ones that's making an effort, that ain't looking for a pat on the back. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I get my pat on the back from God. What I'm doing is I'm obligated to bring y'all real history. I bring y'all clarity on why you should not join gangbang, or what gangs, or why you should not get in these streets, or why you should not run with the wrong crowd, why you should listen to your parents. I'm telling you that because I did the exact opposite of that. And I suffered the consequences. And I lost childhood friend after childhood friend. I lost my freedom. I developed a stigmatism of being a violent individual, a reputation that took years and years and years to come back, that I still got. I suffer from mental effects, and that's one of the most important things, the mental part of it. You see? Smoking PCP, shooting at people, going in and out of institutions, getting into fights, drinking, just being angry for nothing. That stuff will wear and tear on your mind, man. And the things we call ourselves and the things we believe, you keep telling yourself that long enough, you really start to believe them. I really start to believe that I was a demon because people called me a demon. So I start believing I was a demon, and I start acting like one. So you already know how bad my behavior got. You see? When you go to the penitentiary, your homeboy go hand you a knife. That's what he go hand you. And some of them, when they hand you that knife, they basically go, you gonna be on your own. Because when it come to knife playing prison, you ain't gonna have too many homeboys that's gonna stand there with you, man. They go run. They go run. I'm telling you, I seen it firsthand. They go run. You gonna have very few that's gonna stand there with you, man. They gonna run. You see? And then even if you running there to help them, if you come in there and you get somebody up off them, I done seen dudes running in fights and wars whatever with knife play to help their peoples. Only to when they get there and they start involving themselves, the person that they was help ran and left them after they came to help them. You gonna find out the hard way, man. For real. Stay y'all behinds out them penitentiaries, man. Stay y'all behinds out them penitentiaries, man. To heck what people say. People don't like what I'm doing, but I don't live my life about what other people about how other people feel or what other people say. I don't live my life like that, man. I live my life according to how God feel or what God put on my heart to feel. I live my life like that, man. For real. I stopped listening to other people. They can say whatever they want to say about me, man. For real. There's no chinks in my armor. People know me, and whatever I put out there, homie, I don't hide nothing. So whatever I was about, that's what I was about, man. And what I'm telling you youngsters right here, man, gang banging is trash. For real, it's fake. These dudes ain't as tough as they say they are. And when like I tell you all the time, when the detectives get them in the room, they go do this here. Like Mary J. Blige. They go be singing. They gonna be singing. I swear to God. They gonna be getting the police the 411. For real. So don't even get involved in that, man. Go to school, reclaim your, and be held accountable for what you do, not for what they do. Because if you get to hanging around them, you're gonna be guilty by association. And you can be kicked back with your kids and something that they didn't involve themselves in, that you probably really didn't have nothing to do, but just by you being linked with them, they can cost you your freedom, man.